once said, your love, your love, your love is my drug. Surprisingly, these lyrics are accurate considering the similarities that happen in our brain when we fall in love and when we use drugs. According to Dr. Steve Stosny, in October of 2013, everyone here is designed to crave love and affection. So this applies to every single one of you. So after doing weeks of research, I am here to inform you all of the chemistry behind falling in love. I will begin by explaining what love is, then I will talk about the chemicals that are released during a short-term relationship, and I will end on what chemicals are released during a long-term relationship. So first, what is love? According to Webster Dictionary, love is a feeling of strong or constant attraction for a person. When we think of love, we think of it as more of a recreational activity. We come home from a long day at work and we see our significant other, and it's kind of a fun, lighthearted thing. However, we are biologically designed to fall in love in order to reproduce. This allows our species to grow and evolve for hundreds of years to go. We can also fall in love subconsciously. You might not even know that it's happening, but it is. There are small muscular twitches that go on in your face when you're communicating with someone, and you can be attracted to that. Also, there's something called the human leukaryotic antigen, which is just a fancy way of saying how you smell. You can smell somebody, and subconsciously, you are being attracted to that. So, according to Dr. Zetley in November of 2006, we often confuse the feelings of lust and love. Lust is a very temporary feeling, solely based on physical attraction. These are the chemicals that are released in your brain, and they are very temporary. This isn't to say that lust can't turn into love, but it is definitely not the same thing. So now that I've explained what love is, I will talk about the chemicals that are released during a short-term relationship. According to Peggy Gish and Martin Shapiro, both professors of human sexuality at Fresno State, they discussed the three main chemicals that are released during a short-term relationship. These chemicals are dopamine, noradrenaline, and serotonin. Dopamine is the feeling of being on cloud 9. You kind of get that head rush. You also get this feeling when you have a large intake of sugar or when you use drugs. The next one is noradrenaline. It's a lot like what it sounds like. It's an adrenaline rush. This is more of the physical symptoms of falling in love, such as sweaty palms, your heart pounding, or the butterflies in your stomach. Lastly, serotonin. It is present in many other aspects of your life other than falling in love, and it is the chemical of mood balance. In the aspect of falling in love, serotonin is the reason you might have an obsession, or you might lose sleep over someone. So now that I've explained what these three chemicals are, I will talk about what happens in your brain during a long-term relationship. According to Leanne O'Brien in her article, How Love Works, published in February of 2005, she discusses that a short-term relationship lasts between 2 to 3 years before it transitions into what we call a long-term relationship. What this means is that the chemicals that I just talked about have worn off. You've built a sort of immunity towards them. So now that high feeling or the butterflies in your stomach, they're no longer there. However, you have a new a new chemical come into your brain, which is oxytocin. Now, oxytocin isn't only present between significant others, but it is also present in a relationship between a mother and her child. Oxytocin is released either when giving birth or breastfeeding, and this is that bond that a mother and a child has that is instantaneous and it can't be broken. Another time oxytocin is released is when you are sexually involved with someone. So when you are sexually involved with someone, you might think about them all the time and have this sort of bond that you can't explain, and it's not by choice, it's a chemical that is going on in your brain. According to Telegraph writer Maria Fitzpatrick in August of 2014, there are many ways to bring back some of the chemicals from your short-term relationship into your long-term relationship. She suggests that you take on some of life's new challenges, like getting married, having children, buying a house, or finding your dream career, and this can bring back some of those chemicals that you may have lost. So now that I've discussed what love is, what happens during a short-term relationship, and what happens during a long-term relationship, I hope you all understand maybe a little bit better what is going on inside of you when you are falling in love. So next time you are considering using drugs, maybe consider falling in love instead.